Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a new story. The name of this story is What If Naruto Was Born with Cursed Speech? And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story and my own idea. Now before continuing this, yes, it's a borrowed technique from Jujutsu Kaisen. You know the white-haired kids that has covered his face up with a cloth, and whenever he speaks gibberish, and when he properly speaks, something happens. So yeah, something akin to that is going to happen here. So I hope you guys enjoy this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Apollo Chiha channel as well if you haven't done so already. Without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato, 8 years after the Kyuubi attack. As we go towards the said village, in the academy, where we see inside the class in which the next generation of shinobis and konomichis were being trained and prepared, one such kid stood out amongst all of them. A quiet kid who sat at the back end of the class. 8-year-old Naruto Uzumaki, an orphan of Konoha, and the kid always answered by writing something down, as if something was stopping him from saying something or speaking. His sensei, Iruka Amino, has gotten worried, thinking that he might be a mute and gotten him checked, but later on found out and was quite pissed that Naruto was in fact fine, but he refused to speak. In the end, he has given up, alongside Hiruzen Sarutobi, that Naruto didn't want to speak maybe. It was his choice, so why force him? But they wished that he did. That is all until October 9th happened. 8 years later, after the Kyuubi attack, on the same night when the festive was going on, Naruto was returning home after eating a bowl of ramen. In his hand was his notebook and pencil, which he used to write things down. As he was suddenly grabbed by the collar and slammed against the wall, his notebook as well as his pen thrown to the other side. Some drunken men had surrounded him. As Naruto lifted his hands up, trying to convince them with hand signs that let him leave. What the hell do you think you're saying, kid? We don't understand this gibberish. Speak! I heard you can, but you refuse to, huh? I want to hear you scream. Let's do it. And what followed suit was an hour worth of beating and cussing, as well as dehumanizing of that child, beating him to a core. As Naruto slumped to the ground, hugging his chest with both his knees as well as his hands, trying to protect his face as well. But his ribs were cracked, and so was many of the other bones. Naruto was getting pissed. Hold it in, kid. If you speak, things would get out of hand, said a voice from within. But when things got too far and they brought out a literal piping hot kunai, which was burnt above a blowtorch, and they were about to stab that into Naruto. Naruto's eyes narrowed. Don't do it, kid! Leave! Yelled out Naruto. And not only the people were destroyed, the surrounding area was destroyed as well, as if it never existed. A huge gaping hole in the center heart of the village was created, and the Anbus, as well as Hiruzen Sarutobi, was alerted. Everyone was. As they arrived there, they found Naruto standing and panting heavily, with cold sweat, as a piping hot kunai was placed on the ground. Hiruzen, seeing this, and seeing the condition of Naruto, dashed towards himself. Naruto? Are you fine, my boy? Naruto could barely nod before passing out. Naruto! Naruto! Someone get me a medic, now! And so, we see an hour later, after Naruto was in the hospital, Hiruzen was called into the council chamber, where the council was already waited, quite scared. You've seen what the Kyuubi has done, Hokage-sama. Please banish it or either kill it. Get us rid of that monster. I'm afraid I can't do that. What has happened is not because of the Kyuubi. What? How can that be? That child is the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi soul, as our Hokage was saying, said Danzo. He knew people would get pissed and try to beat him, but to kill him, even that, he did not want it. But Danzo-sama, I thought you would... What, on your side? I am and always will be on Konoha's side. My best of interest is in favor of Konoha. Hiruzen and I may not agree on most things, but even I agree that this was the most dehumanizing things that you people could have done. And for that, Fear not, because sanctions will be followed suit. As the protest was about to erupt, Danzo then said, "Oh, you can fight us for it. In a combat. You know that we can't. Then shut the hell up and sit still." Continue, Hiruzen-sama. We wish to know. As I was saying before interrupted. Thank you, Danzo. The child has unlocked a cursed Kekigenkai. A cursed? What do you mean by that? Asked Hiyashi Hyuga. Inoichi, if you may. I went inside his mindscape while he was unconscious and being treated. Even the QB seemed afraid, as now everyone was on edge. What? Said Danzo. The QB no Yoko that almost eradicated us. It was afraid? Yes, because it was an ancient cursed technique, not from our world at least. It is from the Otsutsuki clan. Even amongst them, such Kekigenkai users don't live long because they lost themselves in their power, destroy themselves in the end because they end up destroying everything. And the best way to stop it is to never speak. That is why Naruto never spoke for the past 8 years and used notes, handwritten notes and hand signs to communicate. The boy was doing us a favor, trying not to kill us, and what we did today, he lashed out and only uttered one word in 8 years. What? Leave. What? So you mean to say him uttering one word, just one, destroyed everything? 2 kilometers worth of area has been destroyed in circular radius alongside each and every living being, said Danzo, and that was done because of one word only. Yes. We should be very careful because this cursed Kekigenkai, from what I have found from the QB, even the Bijus and us should fear, because this can destroy even the Bijus forever. That is why it is cursed. And everyone gulped because they realized they have stepped on a landmine. And if Naruto finds out that he has this power, what is stopping him to get his revenge on them? He might as well just disappear to the whole Konoha and they might vanish as if they never existed. But Danzo, he and Hiruzen looked towards one another, and Hiruzen saw that Danzo was even extremely worried. As after the meeting ended, inside the Hokage office, Danzo wrote, "We need to make sure that the child is protected and somewhere safe." I'm trying. Trying how? He is our responsibility after all. We have to do something about it. I am contacting his parents and bringing them back. You know they won't listen. The connections have been cut between us and them. Jiraiya said so deliberately. Jiraiya is making a big mistake. The great power in the prophecy mentioned was never the power of the QB. It might have been this. As Danzo froze, alongside with Koharu and Nomura. Wait, if what you're saying is correct, then... Yes, we are walking towards a destructive path. A path that is set by Konoha. As they were discussing this, an explosion was heard in nearby hospital. What the hell was that? As Hiruzen and Danzo and the others went to the window to see because it was nearby and saw that the wing in which Naruto was being kept was exploded and mass amount of people were there. Oh my god, these people have a death wish! Led by the civilian council members themselves. If the Hokage and the others won't do this and would play a game of the cursed Kekigenkai, then we must erase it. And Naruto woke up and his eyes narrowed. Disappear, please! 2 words. 200 people worth of mob, half of the hospital, and the civilian district within 50 kilometers of range disappeared, turned into rubble. A huge crater was also forming there. As Hiruzen and the others knew that they were late, as Naruto was panting heavily again, looking towards his Gigi. You don't need to say anything, Naruto. I understand. It's not your fault. You were trying to protect yourself. Hiruzen said, "Yeah, kid. We're gonna get you somewhere safe, Naruto." And so, Naruto then laid down and was injected with a sedative to keep him rested. Oh my god. The commercial district, it's destroyed. Half of it at least. What are we gonna do? What else we gotta do? These people paid the price. I have to call for the whole village, and they must know. Maybe Jiraiya's spy is within them, and he would be able to send this news. Are you crazy? If this news gets out, the other spies would also... We have no choice. We have complete cut-off connection with the Mayta and Kushina. They need to know. And so, Hiruzen arrived at the top of the Hokage monument as the people have gathered, feared, and somewhat scared. My dear people, I know you all are afraid of what has happened. Huge amount of vicinity of Konoha has been destroyed by 2 attacks. But this was caused by our own selves, and people were confused when Hiruzen explained everything and Naruto's Kekkei. That is when people realized. So you're saying that he is a walking, ticking time bomb that can explode anytime if we piss him off? Yes. The boy has showed restraint for the past 8 years at such a young age. He even used handwritten notes and hand signs to communicate. It was us who took that as a sign of weakness and tried to beat him. Tried to kill him. Obviously, he also has his limits like any other else. So take this with a grain of salt. But this destruction, it is caused by our own self. Nobody aside from ourselves is for this blame. As the people nodded, finally understanding and in fear that if they pissed off Naruto, they were dead. But they were not alone. Naruto's classmates have also found out about this. One of them being Sasuke Uchiha, who was a young and last surviving Uchiha, was pissed, beyond pissed. He wanted something akin to that power. He wanted it. And so he went to the council, in his fit of rage, as the lost loyal Uchiha elite. But unfortunately for him, the remaining civilian council members turned him down. What? You're denying me? Of course, Sasuke. It's not that we don't want to give you something akin to that, it's just we can't. The boy is born with it. How are we supposed to do it? I don't know, remove his voice box or something and give that to me. That won't work. If we get close to him and if he utters a word, huge part of the village would be exploded. And Hiruzen-sama and Danzo-sama are working together on this. Those two have always been at each other's throat. Do you know just how much important this is if they're working together? You're useless. As Sasuke left. While on the other side, the spy network of Jiraiya has picked it up, and so have the others. And they have delivered their letters to them. What? A cursed Kekkei in Konoha. This cannot be good, said Iwa, as Oniki was scared. And so could be said for Kumo, who had been enemies of Konoha. Suna was fine, but a little bit scared, and same could be said for Kiri. But the most scared of them all was the Akatsuki, an organization whose main goal and target was Naruto. How are we supposed to get close to him? Mother, I have to talk to her. Zetsu thought to himself, I need to go and see for myself. You can leave, Zetsu, and do identify us. And once Zetsu left, he went straight towards his mindscape, where he could see and talk to his mother. Mother, I have heard, Zetsu. The cursed technique of voice is real. Do not engage. Do not get close to it. Because if you become his target, you will be erased. But mother, how are we? I do not know. Find out another way. I'll try my best, but if it isn't, then you can try, but you won't succeed. You see, we had our whole planet. You ever wonder why we left our planet in search of chakra so that we could survive? We had a chakra crow planet that never ran out, and we were living a lavish life until that cursed technique users were born. And they tried to rule over us, and because of that, many of us were against it and tried to end them. The last remaining of them were a kid. We thought it was successful that we eradicated them, but he blurted out a whole line, destroying our planet, our home one, before we moved to Shibai or Suzuki's planet. That is why we have become wanderers. That technique is cursed and dangerous, even far beyond your level. Be very cautious. And so Zetsu agreed. As now we see, on the other side, Naruto was moved into a secluded place, and Jiraiya has received a letter. And he was scared. What? As attached to the letter were images of destruction. Minato, Kushina, I think we need to return. We might have made a mistake. And so, the two of them did. Hiruzen, as well as Jiraiya, then talked for the first time through letters, and Hiruzen confirmed, and that is when they decided to return. As soon as they did though, they wanted to meet with Naruto. I'm afraid you can't. Naruto is in unstable condition right now. If you try to meet him now, things could get worse. I am his mother. I have every right to meet my child. You can't stop me as the same mother who left him here when it was time for prophecy and bullshit. Look, Hiruzen, I know you were pissed about our decision, but that doesn't mean that you have the right to talk to us like that. We were doing World a favor. And look how that turned out to be. We did not knew that this would happen, Sensei. Stop blaming this on us. Oh, I will. I will. And so now we see, against everything, Minato and Kushina went there and blurted out every ounce of truth to Naruto, thinking that he would understand, but that pissed Naruto. Do you know what? Leave. He whispered barely, as cracks formed. What? I said leave! As the whole room exploded, as Menma and Mito were thrown back, as Jiraiya was impaled into the metal beams of the building that has collapsed, piercing through his guts. Minato and Kushina, they too were injured badly with glass shards that have shattered. Naruto stood up, ripped out the IV drips from his arm. I am done, as more cracks erupted. A gust of wind was blowing there and destroying everything, creating a crater in every direction. It was arrived. Naruto calmed down. No. As a deeper gust of wind blew, destroying everything. Huge amount of destruction was ensuing, and the forest of death itself was being destroyed where the bunker was created. You left me here. These people beated me, and you have the gall to just say that I have to follow you? For all I care, die! And that caused them to explode. Explode like how a light bulb does when overloaded. Minato, Kushina, Menma, Mito, Jiraiya, and the whole forest of death was nothing more than a crater now. Hiruzen, as well as Danzo, were able to escape because they realized Naruto has gone insane. And once they returned, they were shocked. Oh my god. As Naruto looked towards Hiruzen, and in hand signs he said, I trusted you. You broke my trust. I'm done. As Naruto began to leave, the whole elemental nation found out about this, and were now beyond scared. Bounties were placed on his hand, but whoever tried, Naruto would use his Kekkei to just delete them from the world. He continued on until Akatsuki, finding no other way in their arrogance, surrounded him. You are to come with us. No. As Hidan and Kakazu's head exploded, the immortals who were in his eyesight. I can kill you all. And many of them others died as well. As the forest shook, cracks began to appear. Zetsu tried to escape. I won't let you get away. And he died. Just like that, he died. The only one who escaped was Obito, hiding, afraid, because this was a monster who was unleashed by Konoha. Elemental Nation was tracking him, but no one wanted to approach him. So in the bingo book, a category was created, a category in which it was mentioned, leave the fuck him alone. Naruto Uzumaki, triple S rank plus category. World ending. That was the whole description, alongside his picture. Naruto lived on the mountainside with animals. They did not need to talk. Naruto did not need to talk. He could speak within his mindscape with Kurama, who was trying, instead of enraging him, to help him calm down and remain calm, because he knew the fate of the whole world and his siblings as well as his own self was now on his shoulder. And to keep him, Naruto, calm at each and every cost. And that is what he was doing. Naruto too has changed. He was untrusting towards the humans, only trusting the nature and its gifts to survive. And a few years later, As a few years passed, Naruto turned 19. Some of the Otsuzukis arrived. As Naruto uttered one word with a smirk, die, killing them without gaining their mark. As those few who watched from above realized he was the bearer of the cursed Gekigenkai, and turned back and left because they knew just what kind of devastation the previous one had. Peace was ensued. For the first time, Elemental Nation didn't fight, fearing that if they harmed him or his territory, he would come out and kill them all. So a pact was made, a non-threatening one, and in this way, the peace was ensued, with great devastation, fear, and with a cursed Gekigenkai. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is it for the day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.